and they'll dance their way to a 34-10 lead. Everything going right for Miami.
His second touchdown catch of the season.
This is all Josh Allen. Everyone's covered. And the number one thing you have to do is contain Josh Allen. They contain him, but he used his
spinning touchdown move by Raheem Mostert. And the Fins are
the second foot down.
Wow, it took under 2 minutes.
For Hill, but he gets free. A beautiful 2-minute drive. And the Dolphins.
Chargers have retaken the lead. A touchdown, Miami. Mostert. 19-yard touchdown.
73 yards. DK Metcalf. So they
caught for a touchdown.
Sprint right.
Devontae Smith cradles it like a baby.
Mostert has scored his second touchdown today. That one by Lamb, the first by C as they dance their way to a 27-14 lead.
Well, we see a little canoe that
his way in. Touchdown.
Walks in. Touchdown.
Under Fryer move.
Rashid Shaheed. Cut it up the field.
Is it a catch? Yes, it is. A touchdown for DK Metcalf.
Tyreek Hill. Touchdown. What a block by Isaiah Wynn to buy 2 a time, and they're dancing early in South Florida.
City.
Touchdown.
Jamar Chase. Oh, what a flip. For a Colts touchdown. And that deserves a wow. So just like that, 35-24, Lambeau leaped right into the arms of some Lion fans. And Detroit takes the lead.
Keenan Allen.
Zay Flowers.
Or they can do that.
Bouquet toss.
For a touchdown, it's Nick Westbrook-Akine. And the Chicago Bears behind an undrafted rookie from Division II.
Touchdown! Oh, he smoked him! Woo!
Tua, Cedric Wilson, touchdown!
Boy, you give them so many chances, they're going to make you pay.
Touchdown, Chargers!
It's the third lead change of the night as
Jamar Chase, his first touchdown of the season.
Still on his feet, he's in. And Indianapolis punches back.
Jock Ferguson.
This is really a nice job of game. Clear the way for Mixon, and perhaps the knockout punch. And that ball is still spinning.
And this is all Mixon. It's a run up the middle.
Boyd, and he strolls in. Touchdown. Mac Jones dropping a dime.
Oh, Sparrow, what a great
Touchdown. He beats Jalen Watson. Russell Wilson.
The big guy is 6'8".
Yeah. Andrew Beck, just his third carry of the year, his first.
A Lambeau leap into the arms of Vikings fans here in Green Bay.
The third-year man.
There's a touchdown! David Njoku! And just like that, the Browns.
Ross is on the money.
10.
Just posed a question about if they have their quarterback. I think we're getting an early peek at what the answer might be.
Yeah, it's Dalton Kincaid.
Trying to do it again today.
And Pittsburgh is
LA.
Explosive Miami play for 78 and a score. It's a roller coaster ride for defenses when you got to take up.
And finally, the Giants put 6.
Takes the ball all the way to about the 1-yard line.
He and Charvarius Ward fighting for the ball. Vikings.
And
Into the end zone, Odell Beckham Jr. His first reception today, 40 yards for a Ravens TD.
Is in. And the Chargers add to their lead.
got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. What an opener.
And the alley-oop.
White, easy walk-in touchdown for the Buccaneers. Some good vibes right now. Touchdown, Dodson! What a throw, what a catch!
Found something today.
Oh my gosh, this
Touchdown, Chris Olave. His second touchdown of the year.
Well, it's a dream scenario if you're the.
pick six.
Get one here, and guess what? Happy birthday, Odell Beckham.
This is the area of the field where he can set.
Good bullet, and Dell with the lunge. Good-looking drive by
Who is going to be in for the score? Lawrence King.
Newsome stayed in bounds. Touchdown! Wow!
Newsome is a backup corner, but this play is made because
Zay Flowers, number 2. And scores the penalty kick. Goal!
Comes the latest of the orchestrated celebrations. We had the roller coaster last week, and now it's the wheelbarrow race.
Barrios wins. Wow!
there you go. 1st and 10. Take a shot.
Penalty in the middle of the field. Hang on.
and the Texans back on top by a larger margin, 26-17.
Herbert found Quentin Johnston, and Q has the answer.
You know how else you can win? You draft guys like this.
Yeah.
That's part of it. It just changes everything.
The touchdown. There's a lot of guys you could compare him to, but he's got a touchdown.
Knight continues, makes the grab there, throw a little bit low, little celebration in the end zone, and the Bengals take the lead. By Nelson Aguilar to the end zone. Somersault touchdown. Right at the 37-yard line. The Ravens are signaling touchdown, but what are the officials?
And he's in. Touchdown.
Bateman, touchdown.
Touchdown, and the first Lions lead of the day.
'74 yards.
And Allen's got it for a Charger touchdown. And Los Angeles takes the within a score. Texans. Devin Single, first career NFL touchdown.
Schoonmaker hauls it in. The rookie has his second of the year.
Gus Edwards.
And Miami gets back in it at 17-9.
Resides Rice with the touchdown. His third.
Down. Dallas Goedert.
The Texans tie it up. Got a little celebration here by CJ after his third rushing touchdown of the season.
What is that?
Touchdown. And Breece Hall with the finishing touches.
Cincinnati.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
Down on the first drive. Now they converted 3rd and 7 with a run play, and then it's the
He did, but there is a flag down.
Touchdown 49ers. And he waves goodbye to the fans in Philly.
I'm not sure if San Francisco.
What a start for Detroit.
Benford, the corner, got juked out of understanding which hole, and this.
Down the middle, they go wide open. This could be a touchdown. Touchdown for James Cook.
And a second touchdown pass for quarterback Jared Goff.
Cincinnati.
His 11th of.
And how did Addison get it done? Jason, you still with me?
I am with you. That was.
Goes Zamir White. So the Raiders, who were blank.
Samuel, walk-in touchdown, San Francisco. They just make.
Rachaad White. Second touchdown of the day for Baker Mayfield. And the Bucs have silenced this Lambeau crowd.
Olave had the "look what I found" reaction.
Career rushing touchdown number 49 for Joe Mixon.
A.T. Perry. What a throw by Derek Carr. And the Saints answer.
In front of Benford. Puts Miami back in front. And he sticks the landing.
Jacoby Myers wide open from O'Connell.
I mean, this kid has really shown up. I am impressed. This is an unbelievable route. I want you to...
Tavian Wicks.
Jefferson has the Vikings within a score, beating Kendall Vildor for a 38-yard score.
Boy, is that aggressive play.
City, Pacheco on the receiving end.
Wow. Andy Reid brought about your ability to get the ball to the back in a position.
Reid, touchdown Green Bay. His second of the night. And he gritties in the Vikings house.
For the touchdown. Kohler.
Zappy this by Zeke.
Well, the only defender that had a chance on that.
Second. The defense. And the Ravens an extra. So the question, who would step forward in the...
Through the middle, into the end zone. Kareem Hunt. Push-ups for the touchdown. Everyone, and he scores again!
Touchdown!
Dashes in another short field and pretends to have a hamstring injury. This is all part of the fun.
Flag as DeMarcus Robinson gets the score.
To the end zone for a touchdown, but there is a flag down.
Makes the catch in the end zone, and the Saints extend their lead.
Touchdown!
You know how he said Kyle Shanahan told us that he doesn't necessarily design who gets the ball?
Guess who? Jimmy Graham.
Colts. The former college basketball.
Touchdown Packers. They're 2 for 2 tonight.
Eno Smith and company.
End zone. He beat Tyson Campbell, and 76 yards later.
It in. 13 yards. They ran 15 plays over 9.
Has the touchdown. Big game. Gabe does it again. All this time, Cavante Turpin.
Yeah, the speed looked just like Cooks. I thought the same thing. And look at that.
Oh, he's going to do the old Zeke play.
Zeke in Zeke fashion. Runs right through the defense. And that's not the guy you're thinking.
Touchdown. He probably would have had the other one. But he's got another touchdown today. And the Chiefs have their from Isaiah Pacheco puts it through. On a one.
Great fake on 3rd and goal. He takes it in.
He's going to run it forward, and he's in. Touchdown. Minshew gives him the little shimmy shake, and he is dealing for the Colts.
Down Green Bay. Ruling on the field, it's a fumble, and it's a touchdown.
Recovered by the defense.
And just holding on to it and then getting pushed in at the end allows him to do a nice average day.
Scantling, he dives, and he's in for the touchdown. Gesicki!
Caught for the touchdown. Another for Mark Andrews. From C.J. Stroud. When they ran, they set up Boyd.
The Bengals an extra point away from the Eagles.
He beats Franklin. 4-yard touchdown release. And Waddle. Up. Everybody's doing it here in Miami.
Touchdown, Buffalo.
Can he come home with a touchdown? He does. Ramondre Stevenson.
Shaheen. They were on the same page that time.
And you gotta love it. Young guy.
You said he's got a little more juice. They should play him a little bit, huh, Jim? I think he kind of showed you on that drive.
Again, his 3rd touchdown catch of the day.
Walks it in. Touchdown. Doing the gritty in London. Stephon Diggs.
That's caught by Olave. They had Duggar back there, 20-0. Same.
And a 16-14 Cincinnati lead.
That's why they brought him over.
But yeah, they bring him over, they get all those draft picks.
In for the touchdown. The Jersey Kid back in his home state for 6.
First points of the second half. A 15-yard run from Brian Robinson.
It's off. He's in. Touchdown.
Go. Brock Purdy caps it with a quarterback sneak. And San Francisco with the cherry on top.
And Jefferson.
That is a touchdown.
Lamar Jackson lays it out there.
Josh Wiley, the first of his NFL career. Vintage King Henry for 29 yards.
Up in his commit. Touchdown Bears. How did
And throws to Tenzo, touchdown. Calvin Ridley is involved against his former team. A 30-yard strike on his first touch today.
Touchdown, Christian Watson.
McLaurin, touchdown. Down, Brandon Johnson. And the Broncos, but it's Mims. Touchdown. Touchdown, Aguilar.
his first touchdown as a Raven.
Well, it's the look they had.
Over! The Seahawks win it!
Off his outstretched arms, takes it in for 6.
$52 yards for the lead.
Tonight's first touchdown, and the Bengals go on top.
Spread them out and then slice them up.
Touchdown. Great looking drive from the Steelers. Their offense has found a rhythm.
Well, we talked all week, KB, about with this Kansas City offense come to life after what's been.
They got just enough.
They went to the left side, too, behind the North Carolina State connection. Chandler's the volley.
Down. Donald Parham just pried it away. Strong catch, his second touchdown of the day.
And the chart is a touchdown to Kelsey. And again, touchdown Chiefs.
Touchdown Carolina. That'll quiet the crowd.
Saints touchdown, 76 yards.
Robin Jordan has a Texan touchdown.
To the hands of Joshua Palmer for a Charger touchdown.
His first rushing touchdown as a Detroit Lion.
36.
And he's in for the touchdown. Dameon Pierce.
Touchdown. And a flag is down on the far side at the 11-yard line. So for the moment,
Mike Williams with the catch, and he'll walk in for the touchdown.
Is out. And it's a touchdown, New England.
Wow. To the end zone, caught. Touchdown, Sutton.
Touchdown, Jimmy Graham.
On a run for Joshua Dobbs, his first NFL rushing.
What? Touchdown Steelers.
Taken into the end zone by Jaden Reed, his second touchdown today.
They stretch him out.
Touchdown. The Washington. Christian McCaffrey barreling in for 6. And
Westbrook Akine. And the Titans take the lead. This one toward the end zone. Keenan Allen. Touchdown Chargers. And Los Angeles retakes.
And that's the Bengals we know.
down Detroit.
On 3rd and goal, goes straight ahead on the ground to take the lead.
Touchdown, Green Bay.
Cortland Sutton.
Drive for the Los Angeles Rams as flag down back at the 25.
Bringing back Slay, Bradbury, the reloaded.
Touchdown from the Arizona defense. Cam Thomas.
Bryant with the grab.